there's a Seth Godin quote where you just got to ship. If you don't put anything out, you don't get any information back. So then that's why you don't move forward. So the best thing you can do in order for you to grow is to keep putting things out. Everyone's a critic, especially now. They're not you, and they don't know where you're heading. So you, like, your job as a creator, that's what Simon does, what I do, is what you do, is to create things. And sometimes not everyone's going to understand it. It also might be too early. There's so many reasons why people won't get it. So you just got to keep creating and believe in what you're doing. Half of the battle in this game for anyone, no matter whether you're richest man in the world or just in your basement trying to get it done, is literally having the nerve to ignore the noise. That's most of it, to be honest with you, because it never stops.
Yes, yes, yes. Just some words of encouragement to kick off today's show. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another great week of Twisted Transitions. Now, I just recently saw that YouTube video, so I just wanted to put out some inspirational words to you guys, just saying, it doesn't matter what you post something, you know what I'm saying? Just because last week we saw that there was not a whole lot of you that post, but if you are in that category of being a little nervous about posting, it makes sense if you just kind of take a step forward, put one foot in front of the other, kick things off, just like I'm doing right here every day as I'm learning every single day how to do what I do. And trust me, I had to self-teach myself as much as I possibly could. None of this stuff was just me knowing how to do this. Everything was a learning curve. So, welcome back to another week, and I've got a great show for you today. First of all, I can tell you that I have learned how to use ChatGPT in a way that kind of takes some of the thinking process off of me. Okay. The reason I say so is because I have done so many thumbnails over the years that I've been doing YouTube, but now that I can just speak it into existence in the ChatGPT, I'm using that as much as I can because it feels relatively, easy. You just say it and it pops it out and boom. If you don't like it, you can make a couple of changes to it. But I mean, that's what this show's thumbnail basically came from. I mean, I don't know how to do all that. So, instead of it costing X amount of dollars to have somebody put that together, ChatGPT for the win. So we'll take it. Another thing that I have really been trying to focus on is getting stuff out. And today we will talk about everything that I've gotten out over the past 2 weeks. Maybe that you're not aware of. Maybe you are aware of it. Who knows? But we'll talk about that today. And we've got a great topic for you guys today. Now, one thing I'll have to tell you is that I thought it was going to be warmer in the studio today. I literally did. But it is cold in here. I'm actually a little bit cold. Usually I've got my little fan that's right here on, or I've got the ceiling fan or something like that on, but I don't today, and I've got goosebumps. And not because of anything we're going to talk about. It's because it's cold in here. It literally is. So you have to bear with me if you see me doing this number right here or rubbing on my arm. Like it's nice and cold in here. In South Carolina today, it is 54 degrees, which doesn't make any sense because we've had an 80-degree day today. We've had an 80-degree day this week already. So the fact that it is 54 right now makes absolutely no sense. But welcome to South Carolina. So, if you have not done it so already, make sure you answer the question in the poll and everything there. I try to give you guys just a easy poll question there because, sometimes I'm just kind of curious on who does what. And right now, the answer, load up your personal vehicle, is currently in the lead. Because I'm always wondering, how you guys do certain things, or if I'm the only one that does certain things. So that's why I put those poll questions up. So if you just do me a favor while you're in here and just answer those to the best of your ability. If you are in here early, which is right now. I really appreciate you. I know that we don't get most of our audience until we have been talking for at least 15 to 20 minutes, which makes absolutely no sense. So if you could comment down below, if you're watching this on repeat, or if you're watching this right now, if you could type in the chat, I got a notification, to let me know how you came to this show today. Was it a reminder that I put out, like through, YouTube? Did you get notified via YouTube? Did you see it on something else, social media that I posted on? I'm just curious on how you guys are getting the notifications, as far as that the show is happening, because I feel like I can make a change or focus my attention, elsewhere, or put it, strongly in one lane if I knew how you guys were getting the update. So, we got two homies in the building right now. So we got DJ, Dennis 50 plus in the building. What's good? TGIF. And we got DJ Kenny, who's been talking a lot of trash to me here and stuff as the week has gone on. I don't know what's up with Kenny. No, I'm just joking, man. Appreciate you, Kenny, for being in the building, man. All right, so Dennis 50 plus says he got a notification, which is good. That's good to hear, because I always wonder whether or not YouTube is pushing out the notifications. I can't tell you guys to turn on the notification bell if you're not getting the notification. So it doesn't make any sense. They go hand in hand. But anyway, I digress. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into the topics today. I know you guys just don't want to see, this face on here all the time. I'm sure if I had something interesting to say, you guys would enjoy that. So let's find something interesting to say. One thing I would like to talk about is, or actually this is the main topic today. I want to talk about how I have noticed a change in our industry. So you guys bear with me here. So I gave you a pretty colorful picture here. So you can take a look at, but this is again ChatGPT at its finest. Our industry, I've noticed, is making some interesting changes that I think that all of us should be aware of if it's happening in your area. And I've been trying to make sure that I make it a point to understand what's going on so I can navigate accordingly. So one thing that's been going on is I've been noticing that the crowds at these weddings are trickling down as far as how many guests are being invited to weddings. And of course, I think it has to do with how much it costs to feed X amount of people. I've been noticing that a good bit of my weddings have been right around the 50 to 80 person weddings. And that's not a knock on the couples in any way. It does make it a little tougher to have a full dance floor, because, if everybody's not a rager, you have less chance of getting people on the dance floor as opposed to having like 120 or 150. But in that 50 to 80 range, I've noticed that brides have or couples, let me not just single out the brides, I noticed that couples are kind of just pulling back on that. And maybe that is an area where they're pulling back just to save money because they don't want to have to feed 150 people. I don't know what the range cost is from 80 to 150, but it must be significant enough for you to trickle down that list. Another thing that I have noticed is that I've been losing more events, not really losing, but I've been passed over events, I think, due to pricing. I definitely think due to pricing. I think that the handful of brides who used to just kind of jump out after COVID and jump out and just say, hey, we need a DJ, let's go. I think those are kind of starting to trickle down. And I think those are starting to weed themselves out after year number 6. Last year it wasn't as bad. I'm getting way more this year, as far as, you know, we found somebody else. We found somebody else. We found somebody else. That's the response that I'm getting. Because, and I'm just like, you know, what would be the difference between me and, you know, my fellow DJ? And, you know, sometimes when they tell you who they went with, you kind of look at the options and everything that they have. And if everything is similar, then you know that it's pretty much based on a pricing issue. It's pretty much, you know, pricing. They're more price conscious now. Another thing that I read is that weddings went from an average down here. Now this, of course, this is here. I know that it is going to be more elsewhere. If you're in Jersey, if you're in Cali, if you're in Texas, if you're in these big markets, I know it's going to be more. But right now, here, the average cost of a wedding in the Southeast is right around that $50,000 range. And that has, I think, come down to about $30,000. And while that doesn't seem like a whole lot, the things that are being cut are things like the DJ. So they are looking at pricing as a factor as to whether or not they choose a DJ. So now it's not based on what you can show. It's based on how much do you cost. You know what I'm saying? So I just noticed that probably over the last three to 4 months when I'm doing my follow-up reviews, not follow-up reviews, my follow-ups with some of these couples. And, you know, sometimes your reputation precedes yourself and you just kind of get the gig. Sometimes you have to earn it with a phone call. But I'll give you an example of one that let me know that things were, you know, kind of solidifies that. You know, if a bride calls you or a couple calls you or wants to have a phone meeting with you and the answers to all their questions are, yes, we can do that, why wouldn't they pick you? Why wouldn't they select you? And I've had that. You know, I had that. A bride called me and she said, you know, we're really interested. The venue recommended you. And I was like, you know, cool. She asked if I offered this, if I did this, if I was an MC, if I talked over the microphone, can she see your work? Can she, you know, are you willing to be able to do this? You know, all simple things, basic things that I already do. And I'm just like, yes, I can do all this. Yes. And she was like, okay, well, this was a productive call. And I was like, all right, cool. So I followed up with her the next week. I didn't get a response. I followed up with her again, and her response was, sorry for the delay. It's been kind of hectic, but we actually ended up going with somebody else. And I just thought to myself, like, wait, why would you go with somebody else if the answer to everything I said was yes? And I don't know who the person was, so I couldn't check if it was pricing. But I'm almost willing to bet that it was pricing. I'm almost willing to bet, because this was prime time in October that she was asking for. So I'm putting that out there because I know that if it's happening here, it's happening in other places as well. So, you know, definitely just be mindful of things like that. Just keep your head on a swivel when it comes to things like that. I'm not saying you have to adjust your prices down, but you may have to stand out a little bit more, have a little bit more flash to you, where, you know, like maybe on a social media track or whatever you're sending over to them, may have to be a little bit more flashy in order to catch their attention and hold their attention. Because it's one thing to get their attention, which is an inquiry. It's another thing to hold their attention, which is actually, you know, booking their services. So I just want you guys to just be mindful and always be paying attention to what's going on in your industries in your area. I'll give you one more example before we move on. You know, I have been, you know, with multiple vendors. I have been with, especially planners. I've been with multiple planners. And they have recommended me, and it has been fantastic. And even some of my bigger planners who I get, my larger scale events and everything from, even they have had, maybe one, maybe two events for 2026 so far. And, we're in March and everything. And I know they don't necessarily need it as much as we do because of course you saw how much planners get. Planners be getting paid, man. I'm telling you, we're in the wrong profession. But the fact that they don't have as many on the books this year as well. It's like, okay, planners are starting to feel that a little bit more too. They're feeling that too. They're feeling that savings. They're feeling that I don't want to go into as much debt as couples have done in the past, because these are debts. Some of these guys are like paying for these weddings themselves and not relying on mommy and daddy. Some of these guys are paying for this out of pocket and taking out loans to cover this. And, you got a choice. You want to be in $30,000, $20,000 or $50,000 debt to have your day go the way you want it to go. And so the budgets are tight. Everything's kind of slimming up and, just be mindful. Be mindful is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying with that. So yeah, definitely pay attention to that. And, it could be happening in your market. I'm always keeping an eye on it because if I see a shift, I definitely want to let you guys know. Let's take a look at the chat and see what you guys are talking about here. Let's see. Excellent job on the mixes this week, bro. You've been working. Appreciate you. You got a notification. Okay. I think the majority of people that don't live in big areas like LA, etc., people are broke and don't have extra money for a huge wedding. It's too expensive just to go grocery shopping here. And I can totally agree with that. I can agree, with the economy, the way that it is as well. We're trying to be on par with other vendors, but eventually somebody has to take the back seat. It's like flowers and cake and decor and things like that start to add up, and it's like, oh, maybe I need to pull back on the DJ. And we're kind of like one of those. We're kind of one of those things where if you had to save money, it's like that's where I'm going. It's crazy to me. It's like you'll pay whatever the flowers are, you'll pay whatever the cake is, you'll pay whatever the decor is, but the DJ needs to get, it needs to be budgeted a certain way. And it's crazy because I looked at multiple lists as far as checklists for brides, and I've probably looked at like seven to 10 of them last week and they had them numbered 1 through 10, and we fell right around that 4 to 5 range. We fell right around that. Above us was the officiant, the venue, the planner, the dress, and then us. And sometimes we would switch with one of those two, but for the most part, we were in the top 5 as far as things to book initially. So flowers, cake, all that other stuff was below us. Not saying that they're beneath us in any way, but they were just below us as far as priority. And yet we are the ones who get discounted. It's crazy. So stand tall out there, guys. Stand tall. Stand tall. It's happening. DJ Vel, what's up, man? Oh, you getting a notification. That's good. Price is always looking for a cheaper DJ. Yeah, I mean, I know that people are going to shop. I know that that's not brand new. I know that people are going to shop, but I'm just seeing it more when I see a heightened amount of people do that. Like I've had about 6 to 7, and I usually don't get that high all at one time. Usually it's kind of spread out, but these guys were like one after the other. It was like, no, we found somebody else. No, we found somebody else. No, we found somebody else. Like, well, okay, I got you. Our prices are $175 to $200 an hour. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. As long as you are flowing, let's see, in a 4-hour wedding, that's $800. In a 5-hour wedding, you're at $1,000. I don't know your market. I don't know, how it goes on that one. You may want to consider going up a little bit, maybe 650. I mean, I'm sorry, not 650, 350 an hour. If that's still within your market value, I would definitely consider that. Yep, cheaper. No lie, I did a couple's wedding for $600. Needed that cash. I get it, because DJ's hurting too. We hurting too. Let me tell you. So I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want to do certain gigs anymore. I don't like kids gigs anymore. I hate kids. Well, let me not use the word hate, because I don't hate it. I just would rather not do kids gigs anymore. And one of the months that I had gotten a phone call was for July. Now, July historically has been a slow month for me, or a slower month for me. But I already had 2 events that month, and I wanted to try to see if I could fill that month up, fill the calendar for that month. And so when that gig came, I thought about it, and it was like a Sweet 16 birthday party. Now, I haven't done a Sweet 16 birthday party in quite some time. I just haven't. I probably don't even know the music that I'm supposed to know, but I'm going to lean heavily on her to create some type of playlist. But I actually shopped a higher price to them, so that I technically it would kind of be like overpriced. Like, well, let's do a Sweet 16 for $1,300. And, normally it would be around like $850, $900, something like that. Hoping to overprice myself. And, of course, they came back and were like, oh, okay, no problem. Like, good, but the bad. So I get it. You got to take what you got to take. And when it comes through like that, you got to get it. So, I mean, some of these gigs are going to come through with high dollars, and some of these gigs are going to come through and you're going to have to lowball them just so you can pay a couple bills that month. So I definitely understand that. Oh, what's happening? From Nampa, Idaho. What's happening? Yep, it's crazy how the value act entertainment for their wedding, the biggest day of their lives. That's true. DJ Vels in Augusta, Georgia. What's good? I feel you when it comes to the teenagers. That can be real particular about music. Yeah, overly particular. Okay, so let's jump back into topics here. Let's tell you what I've been up to here. Let's get into a lighter subject, because sometimes we be talking about stuff and it kind of bring the mood down. I don't want to bring the mood down, right? All right, so let's talk about what I've been up to here. So I've been making some mixes. Just like G Kenny said, I've been making some mixes here lately, and I just want to put out some stuff. I just want to put out some music. I haven't done that in quite some time, and I want to do so. So some of the things that I have put out is I put out the Notorious Big tribute mix. I know last week I told you guys I had it for Mixcloud, but Mixcloud wouldn't let me put that on there, so I had to send it to you via Messenger. And I wanted to, I thought about it, and I was like, well, if I can duplicate it, I can just, record it and do it. So I did do this on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now. It's down in the description below if you want to check it out. But that tribute mix is on there. Actually, there's a couple of additional songs on there that I didn't use in the Mixcloud mix. But if you would like the Mixcloud mix, still, like I said, if I can send it to you, but it has to be through Facebook Messenger. So you have to be friends with me on Facebook Messenger. I'm under JayBook on Facebook. So you just have to let me know if you still like that. But if you would like to see it visually and hear it, I do have it up on YouTube as well. So that is available right now. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh yeah, I did a new mix. What was that? Yesterday, or was it the day before? I think it was the day before, and I was putting it out yesterday. Yeah. So 2 days ago, I did a 2000s, 2010, and today's hip hop and R&B mix. It is also out on YouTube and making some headway. It's actually pretty good. I was listening to it today in the gym, and it sounded pretty good. So if you would like to listen to that, I've got 2 ways for you to listen to it. It's on Mixcloud, also under DJ JayBook, and it is on YouTube. Link down below if you would like to listen to that mix. I've already gotten the approval of DJ Kenny, so if you guys want to check it out, feel free to check it out. Link is in the description down below. And just like I said, you can see it also on Mixcloud. Here's the image on Mixcloud, and I call it the Just Cause Volume 6. So that's all the stuff I've been putting out, along with I put out I think 2 reels this past week, both made right here in my home. And we're going to be getting some footage from this week's wedding. Thank goodness. Weddings are back. It is time for the spring season. It's the first one back. I think I've got this one and one next week. We take one more week off after that, and then it is every single weekend leading to July. So we've got a lot to do coming up. Definitely a lot. I will talk about what the setup is for tomorrow too, because it's interesting as well. Also, another thing that we talked about last week that I wanted to make sure that we brought up here is before the end of the month, we are going to do Rate My Setup again. So for those who would like to submit their image of their setup, please make sure you send that to this email address, djsmeetup@gmail.com. Send all, if you want me to rate it, take a picture of it. You can do it this weekend. You can set it up in your garage. You can set it up wherever you want to. Take a picture, put your DJ name on it, and send it to this email address right here. I'll be taking all images leading up to the last Friday in March, which is the 27th. The 27th, we will do a Rate My DJ setup, and we will I'll bring all the photos on here, and we will go over them one by one and look at them. So if you would like to submit your setup, once again, submit it to djsmeetup@gmail.com. I will try to say this on next week's show as well, but make sure you do that. So this will give you an opportunity to see, what you like, what you don't like, especially if you are overly excited for your setup. I'm not here to dog your setup. I would tell you if I would improve something, but as long as you guys don't have a whole bunch of gig bars everywhere, I think I'm good, right? I knew I was going to have to be one mention of a gig bar, right? So yeah, rate my setup at djsmeetup@gmail.com. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's talk about, right before we get to Q&A here, let's talk about what I'm going to set up this weekend. So I'm really excited to set up this weekend. A few things that I've never done before that we're going to do. I have gotten some Mackie products in. Matter of fact, I think I hear the truck for another Mackie product. I've got some Mackie products in. I will unveil them partially on on Saturday. But I've got a ceremony set up that I would like to show you guys that we'll talk about. Still wireless, everything. It's just ceremony set up as well. I've got, we're going to be using the Mackie Thump Go and the Mackie Sub Go for cocktail hour tomorrow. Also, I finally will be able to use for the first time my batteries for the Cold Sparks. So we'll be using battery powered cold, not battery powered cold spark, battery enhanced cold sparks. That's how I'm supposed to say it. Battery enhanced. That way, you can put them anywhere, but battery is not included inside of the cold spark. Not like the one that I know they've created now that I've spent almost $1,000 on external battery. Anyway, neither here nor there. And I tried to wait. On that. Yeah, sorry. Just having a knucklehead moment. Also, I don't usually at this particular venue that I'll be at on Saturday, I don't usually bring the T-stand, but I will have the T-stand out there because I don't like to bring it in the elements. But these guys want to have a great party, and they are going to try to get through everything quickly so that we can have, I think she said that they're going to give me about 2.5 hours worth of music and music time or music play time. And I cannot wait because their playlist is fantastic and we'll make some magic with it. Pretty sure we will. So that's all I had to get off my chest. Now I've gotten it all off of there. So I can't wait to show you guys images of that, talk about it, unveil some new things. But yeah, you'll see some videos, some reels, some everything, man. I'm just going to empty out my brain and put it all visually out there for you guys. So definitely check out YouTube if you want to see all the latest and greatest, and then all other social media stuff. So, all right, we are here and it is time for Q&A. So if you guys have a question, any question that you may have, please put hashtag ask, and we will try to answer those questions for you, as well as if you are in the chat and you know the answer to the question or have another suggestion that maybe I don't suggest, please put an answer in there. We are a helping community. We help each other out. We don't dog each other. No question is too crazy. As far as DJ goes, you don't have to ask me anything personal because you don't need to know that, right? So let's get to it and see what we've got in the chat. Let's see. DJ Kenny. Go support my brother DJ JayBook. New mixes on fire. Trust. Love the last one. Love the new with the okay. Good. Okay. So now you guys can see that. So like I said, G Kenny approved for that one. So definitely check that out. Plus Jay dancing on the mix. Okay. All right. We don't have to, they don't have to know all that. Let them see that, man. Let them see that. I love the idea of starting a meetup in my area for DJs, music lovers, to be able to meet other people that do what you do. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is imperative that we join this community together, because if anybody's going to band together, it's got to be us, especially in our industry. You got to stop hating on each other, man. We got to cut that out. Oh, too much other stuff for us to focus on and do that. Jay Davis 8460 says, what external battery are you using for the cold sparks? So I got these from eBay, and you've probably seen them before, but they are let me see if I can pull them up real quick. They are the external batteries that, where is all my stuff? Oh, right here. You're probably not gonna be able to see that. You might be. Let's see if I can blow this picture up. It's like this right here. You see this? It's like that's what that setup looks like. So it's the external battery, and then the unit sits on top of it, and then one wire connects into it that powers it, and you can still fire it off there. And I've actually got a video, because I was going to put this up in stories, but I've got a video of how it's set up here. This is in my garage. Let's see. Yeah, this is in my garage. That's the setup right there, so that you can see it. But basically, I was just cleaning it out and plugging it up. But you just don't need any cord to run to any power source. You just, run the cord that they provide that goes into the cold spark and run it from the battery. And that gives you power. As you can see, it's on right there. So that's what I use there, but it's going to make life a lot easier. I ran into too many situations where there was no power, or the power wasn't sufficient. So I got sick of that, and I went and bought that, and it was it was a little pricey, not going to lie. And then China decided to come out with a battery inside of the cold spark. Yep. Yep. Man, those things are nice too, man. It seems like it's very easy and everything to use. When I saw them advertised, I was like, oh yeah, Rick Webb should have that eventually. I think that would probably be the easier way to go. So it's just one piece of equipment less that you have to mess with, and they're not big at all. They're actually half the size of most cold sparks and give you the same fire. So it's pretty cool. Dennis 50 Plus says, do bedroom DJs count for rate my setup? Yeah, why not? Send it in there, because I'm gonna be comparing it to what I got back here. You know what I'm saying? This will be considered bedroom DJ too. I mean, I'm in my house. This is a room in my house here. So yeah, sure. Why not? You better not have no. You better have the room clean though. One thing that I'll tell you is that my lady, she always notices every time I send her a picture of a setup or something like that I've cleaned up. She's like, why is that so dirty over there in the corner? I'm like, that's what you saw? Like the whole room full of all this equipment, and that's what you saw? So yeah, make sure your room and stuff is clean, man. Make sure you're wherever you're DJing from, it's all clean. Make sure your wires together and all that. I mean, you could see it's chaos behind me, but I make sure that when you see it on this camera, it's nice and clean. So yeah, why not? Let's do it. J-Line, he will dog you if you see them kick bars. That's pretty accurate. I know which one you're talking about. They didn't work out well for me. Oh, okay. Well, they seem to do pretty good so far. I don't know if they've revamped them since then, but they've done all right. Oh, you had them in black, and I had them for about a month, and then they stopped charging. Well, let me tell you, if these stop charging, I will definitely probably get rid of them and get 2 of the battery already, built into the cold spark. Hopefully Rick them get that soon. I'm currently using Rockville Wedge uplights and controlling them with the IR remote. Would a 2.4 gigahertz wireless DMX transmitter receiver, DMX 512 XLR rated around 400 work with those lights? I'm pretty sure that will work. DJ Mike had something similar to your setup, and he was using a 2.4 gigahertz DMX transmitter, and they worked. He had no problem with them. So the answer to your question is I believe that it will, based on my experience with them through DJ Mike, and they should work. I don't see why you would have a problem with that. Do you run them with your Wolf mix? No, because this is going to be in 2 separate areas. I'm assuming you're talking about the cold sparks. This is going to be in 2 separate areas. So I'm not going to run it with the Wolf mix. I'm just going to use the remote and should be able to fire them off. External power station. Interesting. Okay. That's what's up. What about streaming setups? Well, I mean, that would be the same thing as bedroom DJ. I mean, that's pretty much, again, what I got behind me. So yeah, let's send those in. Why not? Maybe I'll tell you what, I'll have 2 different sections. I'll have what's considered the bedroom or the streaming setup, and then I'll have the event DJ setup. How about that? I'll take the time if you guys will take the time to submit in your submissions with these pictures. I'll take the time if you do it. All right. After my DJ equipment got stolen, I'm able to get back to DJing, but I have only one speaker. Is that okay to start or wait for the second speaker? You definitely probably, well, let me just say this before I jump into that, because I was just about to tell you definitely need a second speaker. It really makes a difference on what events you're doing. If you're doing kids events, you'll be fine. If you're doing, birthday parties, you'll be fine. If you're doing family reunions, you'll be fine. If you're doing, outdoor events for just a company that needs a PA and some music, you'll be fine. When you need the second speaker is if you're going to be doing like a full event. If you're going to be doing something like, not just necessarily a wedding. I mean, that would be obvious. But if you're doing like something at a park, or if you're doing something that is just a wide space, you're definitely going to need both speakers. So just depends on the event. For smaller events, maybe, no more than 25, 30 people, you can get away with one speaker. But for the most part, anything past that, you should have two speakers. That's just my opinion. It's some good stuff, man. Go ahead and make sure you're putting that question in the chat. Remember, #ask in the chat. Let me look at the poll here. Load up your personal vehicle is still at 50%. So loading up your personal vehicle is still the option for most of you guys, or at least half of you guys, as far as how you transport your equipment. Well, all my trailer people out. I don't have no trailer people. Come on, man. Yeah, see, if you're in a bar, you can get away with one speaker. Yeah, you can get away with one speaker. You don't have to have the second one right away. You can get away with one speaker in the bar. You can get away with one speaker at a small birthday party. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so definitely let me know how you guys transport your equipment. Now, I have done it all three ways. All three ways that I have right now that's over in the chat is a way that I've transported my equipment. I have used my own personal vehicle stacked to the roof, and that used to work until it used to scratch up the inside of my vehicle. And then it was just like, okay, let's find another source. Then I used to rent U-Hauls. Preferably a van. And then there was a problem of a ramp, getting stuff in there. So everything had to be lifted on, lifted off. And it was just crazy. Then I had a trailer, or still have a trailer. And that's been the best option for me. Roll on, roll off. Everything's on wheels. We're all good. So, yeah, I've had all three, man. Nothing shy of what anybody else has had. Oh, appreciate that. Lightspeed Entertainment. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely do what you can with that one speaker. And then, of course, when your second one comes in, it'll look great, and it'll be symmetric and everything as well. So, all right. Any more questions that you guys may have on here? I've got to knock out another mix here. Man, I'm telling you, man, I've got some mixes to put out. I've got some music and everything to put out. But if you guys want any of the mixes, don't forget to use the links down below. Links down below for all of the music that I have out right now that I've recently done mixes for. Should be all labeled down there. Any other questions that you guys may have? Let's see. Let's give it a little bit here. Oh, G. Kenny says, I bought a van last year. It's been great. I hate towing, but I did get a trailer in 2024 also. Okay. So G. Kenny is a part of both crews. He's got both. He's got a van that tows a trailer. That's all right. Or I guess the either or, depending on the gig. Which, that's not bad. That's not bad. To me, it just makes sense. It makes sense to have a trailer. If your gigs are the same gigs for the majority of the time and you don't offer a whole lot of add-ons, you can get away with a van. Most certainly. But if you have to interchange things and use different speakers and you got multiple setups, I would highly recommend a trailer. Like for sure. DJ Kenny J, do a Tupac mix and stop being biased. Kenny. Man, why would you want me to do that? Sure, I can do that. I've actually already got songs on the Tupac mix. I just need to really just do it. Actually, I need to go ahead and do it and record it now so that when it's time to put it out for the date that he, left this earth, it could be his tribute and let it come out then. That's a good idea, Kenny. Yeah. I should go ahead and record that, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I will. But I'm going to be biased because, I'm on the East Coast. I know you're on the West Coast. We shouldn't hate each other, right? But, I'm going to be a little biased because, Biggie is the greatest MC of all time. You know what I'm saying? Literally all time. Let's see. Lorenz Hawkins says, DJ JayBook, in the column array status, I know you are a Maui guy. Yes, I am. And I am in the market for purchasing a new set. Was looking at the PRX1 bass hitting. Wait a minute. The PRX1 bass hitting on the Rockville M12. Any recommendations? Is there a budget involved? You got to tell me if there's a budget involved, because I'm a Maui, I'm a Maui LD guy, and I can tell you that a lot of people are just going down to like the 28 G2s. And from LD, and those it just depends on your budget. Those hit too. I've actually had the privilege of hearing those too. It just you had to tell me what your budget is. Yeah, you really do, because I haven't heard a lot of these EVs and Evox and all those different brand styles. It's killing me. I haven't heard the RCF either. I've heard the QSC towers, the columns, and they sound pretty good. They sound not too bad. But when I heard the 28 G2 or G3s for a 70 to 80 amount of people group, those things weren't bad. The sub is just not as big as the 44 G2s, but those things were not bad. So definitely, I could still recommend the LDs. Not necessarily. I tried the same mix that I put on Instagram, which was E40's Tell Me When to Go. I had that beat in the background, and I had Kendrick Lamar over that. And it recognized the Tell Me When to Go song on there, and YouTube blocked the whole entire reel or short. It blocked the whole thing. And I was like, well, I can't take it out because it's an intricate part of the mix I did. So I couldn't post that mix on there. But if you go on my Instagram and look at the latest reel that I just posted, that they would not let me post that on YouTube. So, you can get away with a lot, but still be cautious. There are some artists that they will not push through. I was really surprised that they let me push a Beyonce song through. And it was one that wasn't like commercially like that. It was a Church Girl, and they let it go, and I was surprised. I was a little nervous. I'm also always nervous whenever Usher is involved. And I'm also nervous when Chris Brown is involved. For some reason, those guys usually get flagged, and it's not that it gets flagged so I can't get paid on it. I don't put out the mixes to get paid because you're not going to be able to monetize those. But they'll flag them and they'll block them. They'll block the whole video. So that's what worries me the most when I use those artists, is that it won't even let me put up the entire video, the entire mix, because of those artists. So I was really surprised that they let me through. Right. I mean, and this is what I do on here. So I don't get paid for any of those mixes. I'm literally just putting them up there. G. Kenny says, have you heard the QSC line arrays? Do you think DJs should invest in these speakers for larger events? I haven't, but again, this is one of those things that DJ Mike has heard. And I believe he likes them. If I'm not mistaken, he thinks that they are pretty good. I think it's a good investment. Anything QSC, I don't think you can go wrong in, especially when it comes to highs and mids. They are one of the top-notch quality companies when it comes to speakers. So I would definitely look into it. I mean, they're probably going to be a little bit pricier, but I mean, I've had QSCs. I mean, y'all don't have to tell you, G. Kenny. I've had QFCs for so many years, and they have still hold their value. Do you think DJs should invest in the speakers for larger events? It just depends on the size of the event, but yeah, I definitely would. I don't have a problem with having those. I mean, those, you can hear every single word out of those speakers. It's fantastic. Yep, there is a budget, but I will compare the LD28 to the JBL PRX1. Thank you, brother. No problem. Check them out. Definitely check them out. Oh man, yeah, I did have a problem with Jay-Z. Yeah, I put Jay-Z in this latest one too, and it wasn't it was kind of a commercial song, but they let it through. They just said, can't monetize it because of it, but they didn't block the video. So, got to be a win somewhere. All right, Jonesy Delor. I can't pronounce your last name there. I'm not sure, but it says when you do your mixes, is it just a raw, unedited mix that sounds perfect, or do you edit them with software to get rid of flaws or little mistakes? Oh no, I do not edit those mixes. That is just from the moment I hit the only time that I edit anything on those videos is like I'll hit the record button. And I may do like a little scratch practice in the beginning to, just to get my hands and stuff warm. And then I chop that off. But when I hit play on that first song, you're seeing everything from that moment. And then when I'm at the end, sometimes if it's too long at the end after all the sound is off, I trim it back. But anything in the middle that's all me. And that's no edit. That's no nothing. And you'll see there's a few times that I actually mess up. At least I can hear it. There's a few times that I mess up on the mix, and you can hear it on there. And I was just talking to Lil Vegas about this, and I was like, do you ever put out a mix that you've messed up on? He's like, nah, I don't do that. Like, my mix has to be, I'll do it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, man, if I did this mix 2 or 3 times, I'd get sick of this mix. So it's like, my flaws and everything are out there. I use it, and he told me to use it as a measuring tool, like, from where I've been to where I'm currently at, if I'm progressing or if I'm digressing. So I kind of use it like that. I mean, I'm not getting paid for it. It doesn't give me any notoriety. So, I just use it as a progression meter, really, to be honest with you. But yeah, my flaws and everything is on there. You can see it all. We don't hide that here. Dennis 50 plus. Look at that with the super chat, man. Appreciate that. You don't have to do that, but I really appreciate that. Hey, man, if everybody in here could just hit the like button for me, that would be great. It just helps the video continue to be pushed out, man. If you guys can just hit that like button for me, that would be fantastic. You don't have to do a super chat, but if you want to, it's like buying me a drink. Well, I don't know. Dennis would be a little short on the drink if if it was like buying me a drink these days. I mean, a mixed drink these days, man, is like, oh God, like $8, $9, right? So it's crazy. It's like that. What Dennis just gave me is like buying me a pack of gum. So yeah, we can rock with that. It's like buying me a pack of gum, because I can't think of anything else that's $5 these days. But now, real talk. Appreciate you, Dennis, man. That's what's up, man. You don't have to do that, but I definitely appreciate that. I saw a dude use a handicap van to transport his kid. Lord have mercy, not that. Not that. All right, I got time for let's see. I got time for one more question. If somebody has a question, or if I can answer it fast enough, I might be able to get into. But this is an opportunity for you guys to ask. So let me know what you want. Now, I will tell you that I was a little nervous coming on here today. When I saw like the numbers and everything stayed at 0 through half of the intro, and I still think that YouTube is not pushing this thing out far enough for the reach. And it's absolutely crazy and everything to me, because, 1 week you can have 30 people in here, and then the next week you can have 9. And you know what? I still appreciate it either way, because one thing that I understand about numbers now is that numbers will actually make you go crazy. I mean, studying numbers and looking at numbers and paying attention to numbers, it will make you go crazy. It will literally change how you think, your thought process. It changes everything. It changes how you talk on here. If you've got 50 people on here, you talk a certain way. If you've got 100 people on here, you talk a certain way. When you've got 9 people on here, you talk a certain way. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's like, stop looking at the numbers and just say you appreciate everybody who's there. And that I do. I definitely appreciate everybody who's here, who comes out week after week. Next week, we will be right back here, 12 p.m. EST, for another great show. These topics and everything that are coming up, man, they just kind of come to me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm about to close out the poll on here, and it looks like, drum roll please, load up your personal vehicle takes the dub, and it had 46% of the votes. So load up your vehicle is the main way that you guys transport your equipment. So that's pretty good. Lightspeed Entertainment says, I really like your approach and insights for your show. It's inspiring. Thank you. Oh man. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That helps a lot. That helps a lot to know that I'm actually inspiring something, putting out something out there. Dennis, 50 plus, man. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All I can do is be me. I don't know how to be anybody else. I truly don't. I've tried impressions and I'm just not good at it. I'm just not. So, like I said, 12 p.m. EST next Friday. Don't forget to, I'm just going to put this up here one more time. If you would like for me to rate your setup, I'm just going to say it one more time. Rate your setup. Please send your picture that you want me to see over to djsmeetup@gmail.com. I will separate the bedroom streaming setups from the event setups. We'll look at them we might have to do 2 shows with them. So, like I said, definitely if you want to be a part of that, just send me the picture, send me your name. You don't have to put any explanation with it. I don't need an explanation as to why this. Look, the picture you take is the picture I'm going to rate. I probably won't even look at an explanation. I'm just looking for a name and the picture, because I don't want to say, oh, well, he said that he didn't do this. Don't take that picture. Don't send me that picture if you don't want me to see something, because I'm going to tell you. I'm definitely going to tell you. So djsmeetup@gmail.com. So definitely take a look at that. Fellas, ladies, anybody who's taking a look, I appreciate you for coming and checking out the show. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. If you've got a gig, make sure that you knock it out the park, because I'm definitely going to do that for mine. And make sure you're living to strive and not to survive. We'll see you again next week. Enjoy your weekend, folks. Peace.